Hello, my precious friends. Welcome to Tuesday study, the power of example. The power of example. We're looking again at the life of Caleb. He is just an endless source of inspiration for us in this study this week. Caleb once again is in possession of his property. He's beginning to take possession of it. And the Bible says here, Joshua chapter 15, verses 16 to 19, Joshua chapter 1, verses 13, Joshua chapter 3, verses 7 to 11, that Caleb begins to empower the next generation to take up residence, to get what is theirs. And he says to them, listen, there's this piece of land, and anybody that conquers it, I'm going to give them, the man that conquers it, I'm going to give them my daughter. I'm going to give them my daughter's hand in marriage. That's just the time in which they were living at this time. This is stuff people did. So Caleb says, listen, anybody that conquers this piece of land, Axa, my daughter, will belong to them. And the Bible says that a valiant young man by the name of Othniel conquers that land. And Caleb follows through and gives his daughter in marriage to Othniel. Axa, his daughter, says, listen, Othniel, why don't we ask my father for another good piece of land? You know, ask him for something with springs of water and something that's fertile and nice. You know, my daddy will give it to us. I think he'll let us have it. The Bible says that she goes to her father and her father says, yes, you all can have it. And so Axa and Othniel begin to inhabit the land and do the will of God. But in Judges chapter 3, verses 7 to 11, the Bible says that the people of God went astray, that they left the Lord their God and did evil in his sight. And God caused them to be subjugated. He caused them to go into captivity and to be overthrown by the Mesopotamian king Cushan-Rithyaim. And this king takes possession and he begins to dominate the people of God. It was never God's plan that in the promised land, people of his, that he has given inheritance to, that he has blessed. It's never God's plan that they come back under the dominion of anyone else but him. When we get the promises of God, we're supposed to be free in the promises of God. We're supposed to live free in the territory of God. God never intends when we get a blessing for it to become a curse or for us to so lose track of him that it becomes a curse. The Bible says God raised up and empowered, guess who? Othniel. God raised up and empowered Othniel, that young man that married Caleb's daughter. God raises him up to be the deliverer and sends him against Mesopotamia, and he defeats them. He judges Israel for many years, faithfully doing the will of God. What's the Bible telling us? It's telling us that faithfulness really matters, but it's also telling us that we've got to pass on the good things God has done for us to the next generation. You see it in Caleb's daughter. Axa has the boldness of her father. Give me some land. My daddy did the same thing with God. He asked God for stuff that belonged to him, that God promised him. Othniel similarly embraces his father-in-law's desire to fight for what is right, to honor God and recapture what the people should have, to bring them back to the Lord. This is the lesson for today, and I pray that you're blessed as you study it.